Damien Smith, Damien McKiernan, Darren Swift, Stephen McGinnity. Yeah, that's fine, lovely, wonderful. Yeah. Dubs are coming, lads, now. Here we go. Now, hang on a second. Charge. He's placed Dermot Harrington at full-back, moved Ian Robertson to centre half-back, paired Kieran Whelan and Darren Homan in midfield, brought Peter Ward to wing forward and Damien O'Brien to top of the left. By comparison, Monaghan's team manager Eamon McEnany replaces Australia-based Brian Morgan with Noel Marin at left corner back. The midfield partnership of Foric McShane and Cyril Ronahan is maintained, while in attack look out for Kevin Hughes and Declan Smith as forwards of immense promise. One highly significant move in defence sees Gerard McGurk move to full back following a few experimental runs in the half-forward line. Yeah, Desi Farrell is going up to for the toss.
Dublin fans will want to welcome the Dublin team today onto their first home Continental National League game under the mentorship of Tommy Carr and his management team. Also present today is the newly elected chairman of Dublin County Board, Sean O'Keefe, author of the show.
Monaghan manager is Eamon McEnany, way down by the left-hand side, standing. Now it's the anthem. He's on the right, obviously, you know, but he'll probably be wearing his blue baseball cap. He was, yeah. But next time you pick him up, he'll have that blue cap on. So Mick Curley from Galway gets the match underway, and it's Monaghan who lost the toss, playing into the goal on our right, and they've already made some switches. McGurk is playing wing back, Duffy is full back, and Stephen McGinnity has gone to wing forward in a switch with Darren Swift. That's Porrick McShane taking that free kick in towards Declan Smith, trying to lay it off towards the other Declan McKiernan. Instead it's Eamon Heary who's being fouled. Oh, terrible free kick. He's given it away to Stephen McGinnity, the man who has just made the switch out to wing forward, in towards Darren Swift. Players calling for it around him. Eamon Heary trying to make amends back there. Out by Ian Robertson. Good movement here. This is Peter Ward. Again, an ambitious kick. And that's where Jared McGurk has gone to, picking up Declan Darcy. Now Stephen McGinnity looking for the first score of the match. And he's put it over the bar after just a minute. So that switch of Stephen McGinnity out the field working instantly. Davy Byrne from Ballymun-Kickham's. Darren Holman contesting in midfield there, but that's claimed again by Monaghan, by Cyril Runaghan. An edgy start by the Dubs. And they hadn't withdrawn the requisite distance there, so it'll be a free much nearer the goal. Porrick McShane taking it. Hit into open space. Paddy Christie. Here's Eamon Heary. And they were hauling him back there, particularly Stephen McGinnity. So the new full-back Dermot Harrington with this drop kicked free into space towards Jim Gavin, trying to help it on. Strange to see Jim Gavin playing it full forward. Sure, it'd play out of defence. This is the Monaghan captain, Edwin, better known as Eddie Murphy. Was there a little judicious push that time by Declan Smith? Referee says play on. In the end, there was a foul, and it's a free out for Dublin. This is down towards Desi Farrell, Dublin's captain today. He was being fouled by Porrick McShane. Two teams here who met almost at the exact same stage last year, but then in Clowness, Dublin winning by a goal. This is Declan Darcy, former Leitrim player, of course. Peter Ward coming into it, looking for the equaliser, partially blocked. Sting taken out of it, and an easy one for John O'Connor. This is Kevin Hughes. Towards Darren Swift, never had much chance of that one, always favouring Paddy Christie. Eamon Heary had an uncertain start to this match. Farrell, nicely downfield. Dublin coming, building again. This is Kieran O'Hare. And he was being held back by Noel Maron. Declan Darcy, who is Dublin's leading scorer in this league with 16 points, fitting to put the side on terms, but not with that particular kick. They'll do well to keep it in play, and in the end there was some fouling by the corner back, and that's going to be a free from 13 metres for Dublin. This is a much easier chance. This free to be taken by Kieran O'Hare. Suits a left-footed kicker, and he slots it over effortlessly. And Dublin draw level. And there were 5 minutes gone. John O'Connor gets a good thump into that kick out, is fisted down there for Dublin by Kieran Whelan. That's Gerard McGurk enjoying himself out at wing back instead of where he was nominated to play. Here's Mark Daly. Strongly built centre half forward. Against Ian Robertson, good kick! For a moment I think some Dublin fans felt that was going to end up in the top left hand corner, but it's just gone over the crossbar and Monaghan have the lead once again. This is where Mark Daly was getting away from his man, beating Ian Robertson to it and just over the bar. Excellent kick out by David Byrne. Taken down here in midfield by Kieran Whelan. Highly rated midfield player for Dublin. Along towards Darren Homan. Played in the corresponding match last year. Back to Declan Darcy, looking for his first score and his 17th point in this year's league campaign. And Dublin have drawn level once again. It's a most entertaining match. Well, full credit to both teams for starting so impressively here. Homan getting it back to the free man there, Darcy, and that was enough. John O'Connor going left this time. Well, it's belted away by Keith Barr. They wait for somebody to come from a deep position. It's the full-back who's anxious to join the action. That's Dermot Duffy wearing number 5. Here's Declan Smith. Good ball inside. Swift is in there. Here's a chance for Monaghan, and he's taken it. Darren Swift from Monaghan Harps with the first goal of the game in the 8th minute. Well, once Dublin were isolated in defence, they were always looking most vulnerable. And that's precisely what happened. When the ball was dropped in, it was 1 against 1. Some jostling in there, and the referee decides the player to indict is Porrick McShane from Clontibret. Desi Farrell taking the free kick. In towards Jim Gavin. Gavin attracting 2 Monaghan players to him. But that's a huge boost for Monaghan, that goal. So another important free here for Declan Darcy. Mitch missed one from a similar distance a little while ago. Straight in front of the post, and he's put it to the left. The one that got away. Well, this is where Declan Smith had spotted how isolated Dublin were in front of goal. That was enough for Swift to beat Paddy Christie and also David Byrne. Nicely taken chest high that time by Monaghan's Kevin Hughes. Hughes taking the free kick himself. Stephen McGinnity, he's first across there. But so too there was Declan Smith, and that ball fisted away just momentarily by Jonathan McGee. One of the new names of the Dublin team this year. Again, Monaghan trying to work it in far too closely. Dublin escaped this time. Declan Darcy. Loose ball across the field there. It was intended for Kieran Whelan. Instead it's picked up by Kevin Hughes again. This time they go forward to Gerard McGurk. Some very promising build-up play as usual by Monaghan. Lovely transfer off by Declan Smith to Mark Daly. Got a point earlier on. Make that now a second. Every attack that Monaghan have had in this match has produced something. So a useful position for the Ulster team. Again, it was Gerard McGurk knocking it ahead. Smith with the layoff. Nobody closing down Mark Daly sufficiently. Kieran Whelan jumping. Dublin breaking the ball down, anticipating something, but instead it's come here to Cyril Monaghan. Again, exploiting space in there. The goal scorer, Darren Swift, back in here again. And here's another chance for them. And that time it's popped over by wing-back John Conlon. It's a glorious spell for Monaghan, who are win-supported in the first half. Again, lovely open play. Dublin's backline really being torn to shreds at this stage. Broken down towards Declan Darcy. Keith Barr was also anticipating. Desi Farrell down in there towards Jim Gavin, pushed from behind, free to Dublin. Kieran O'Hare with one free so far taken and successfully converted. Now involved in the build-up once again. Looking for another one. And that's gone to the left. Dublin's shooting a bit out of luck, and the referee even sympathising there with Kieran O'Hare. And in there in the front row, Taoiseach Bertie Ahern, Dublin's #1 supporter at the start of another very busy week for him. Declan Darcy trying to fist it down. Jared McGurk has seen that ploy before. He couldn't get away quickly enough before being fouled. Here in Parnell Park, which is looking so impressive, it's Monaghan who are enjoying the better fortune. That's Paddy Christie. Even then it was partially blocked by Darren Swift. Great fielding over there by John Conlon, who's already helped himself to a point in this tie. Eamon McEnany must be very pleased with the start of this match. Declan Smith into McKiernan. Declan McKiernan free, and that's just enough. They are doing as they will in attack, which must be a source of great concern and worry to Tommy Carr and his fellow selectors. 1-5 for Monaghan, 2 points for Dublin. And they're simply brushing aside the challenge of the Dublin backs. And the strongly built McKiernan was able to get in there for another score. The injured player there is Darren Swift, who got the goal after 8 minutes. That's Eamon McEnany there on the left-hand side. So Swift is okay, fit to continue at top of the left. David Byrne, dropped by Peter Ward, belted away by Porrick McShane, and then looking for something from it, but it's going to be Dublin's possession. Eamon Heary close to his new team boss as he kicks this one in field. Again, some very good defensive play by John Conlon, giving that outlet pass there to Kevin Hughes. That ball ahead. Keith Barr was, or rather Eamon Heary was in first, but it breaks back to Monaghan again to Porrick McShane, showing that they can miss the odd one. After that let off, the Dublin fans are trying to get behind their team to give them a bit of motivation. Desi Farrell thought he'd kept it in play. John Conlon into the space left behind there by Declan Smith's movement. Smith is after it. He's got Swift alongside him, right on the end line. And again he manages to link up with a colleague. Darren Swift kicking, and he's now made amends for the point that they missed in an earlier attack. Recovered from injury, and now he's got a goal and a point. And it's Monaghan 1-6, Dublin 2 points. It's nicely back here for Darren Swift. Again, the backline unable to dispossess him. Was contesting that one, breaks out via Keith Barr. Dublin get the free. Keith Barr kicking, waiting for some movement to happen just ahead of him. Taken by Jim Gavin, one of the heroes of '95, of course. Still they come forward looking for something, and that has gone over the bar eventually. So it's 1-6 to 3 points. This is where that ball was taken forward there and put over the bar for another score for Dublin, one they so badly needed. Just throw in an extra voice into that, and the scorer there, Ian Robertson. All of them back there contesting. One back by Seamus Mullen. Ian Robertson has scored that last point, seems to have moved across towards wing back. Meanwhile, it's Cyril Ronahan who makes a hash of the chance for Monaghan, and it's gone sailing wide. So worries for Tommy Carr in his first league match in charge. Peter Ward beaten in the air this time. John Conlon has followed him everywhere. Makes a fine catch. Again dropped into space. Darren Swift dropping this one. And the Monaghan management must be wondering whether their team can at this early stage in the season maintain their momentum. That's Declan Darcy. Dublin must have a lot in reserve, you feel. Still a long way to go. Monaghan goes short. That's Seamus Mullen. Dropped in towards the inside forward line, a race for possession here. Kieran Whelan stumbling at the most inappropriate moment, leaving it behind to Declan Smith. Nicely forward here for Stephen McGinnity. Awkward angle for him, in over the head of his full forward, but nobody able to contain it. Dublin now responding to this early crisis, and they've decided to spring from the bench here. Brian Steins, clearly his influence so badly needed in this match, and it looks like it's Peter Ward who's going off. Didn't have the best of luck against John Conlon, who marked him tightly and won most balls in the air. They've put Declan Darcy at centre-half forward, Desi Farrow wing forward, and Brian Steins are right-half forward. Meanwhile, Kieran Whelan, loads of time left for the Dubs to show that they're able to get back into this match. It's still Kieran Whelan. Going for it himself, and that's a great deal better. Kieran Whelan getting another one for Dublin. And now Dublin will feel that they've got a real lift, and it's 1-6 to 4 points. Well, within seconds of Brian Stines coming on, didn't get involved in this attack, but the pass played forward by Dessie Farrell for Whelan, and a point resulted. So now how will he restructure his side to meet the challenge presented by Dublin in the last 10 minutes of the first half? So Jared McGurk, who's been playing all this match at right half back, now down with an injury. There was a nasty little gash in the ankle. Eamon McEnany making sure that he could continue. Otherwise they'll hardly take a chance with still about 8 minutes to go to half-time. It looks quite painful and he's having to be helped off. So Eamon McEnany there with his side now down to 14 men. Considering whether to make a change instantly. Brian Stines rising for this one, but he breaks it down only as far as Dessie Farrell. Declan Darcy now. Kieran Whelan letting it go by. Onto the man in the corner there. There was Damien O'Brien. Again, Dublin being a little over-elaborate, and John Conlon fouled by Brian Stines as he was about to take that ball up into his hands. Kieran Whelan tracks back. Darren Holman to take the sideline kick to Eamon Heary. Back to Holman again. Now Dessie Farrell. He's got O'Brien in the corner. Trying to go by the intentions of Mark Daly. Brian Stines again. And Dessie himself kicking it in. And they try to keep that ball in play. John O'Connor eventually keeping it away from Damien O'Brien. That's broken down there by Dermot Harrington. But again, Monaghan go one-on-one. Declan Smith this time, trying to get inside the cover of Jonathan McGee, but it's a good distance out. But a wonderful kick after all of that by a first-class footballer. Declan Smith's first point, and now 5 of Monaghan's forwards have scored. Again, they use this tactic of withdrawing 2 of their inside forwards, leaving it one-on-one inside. This time it was Declan Smith against Jonathan McGee. In spite of the fact it was a good 30 metres out, he made little of that. Referee went in to have a quick consultation with his umpires, and he's now going out to have a word with 2 men, Stephen McGinnity and also Eamon Heary. An off-the-ball incident perhaps. Referee content with just a little lecture. And Stephen McGinnity'd have to say, "You must be joking, ref." Brian Stines jumping with Kieran Whelan. It's Whelan who takes it down in spectacular fashion. Seamus Mullen slow to close him down. Into the corner. And that's going to be a free in for Dublin. Some very useful work there by Kieran O'Hare. Noel Marin trying to get in tight on O'Hare. Onto his right boot it comes. Goalkeeper commits himself fully, and in the end John O'Connor is fortunate enough to get it back at the second time of asking. Claims there that jerseys were being tested to the full. Particular claim by Damien O'Brien. But it's the half-time. John O'Connor with this